Hey, sports bettors, thanks for stopping by. My name is Boyd. I'm an instructor with OddsJam. I teach beginner and struggling sports bettors how to get set up and use all the data-driven tools to find positive EV bets to profit over and over again. It's a simple mathematical thing that works over and over, like I said, and it's something I can help you with if you're interested. And in today's video, we talk about yesterday. Today is Saturday morning. I want to talk about the Arizona State college football game the previous night and the lines, the sort of things you can do to look in reverse and learn so you can advance that information going forward. Let's take a look. All right, now before we get into that video with Arizona State and Utah's game last night, that I really want to show you some really cool things that are going to help you going forward to learn from this. But before we get into that, another reminder, we do have the scorecard quiz. It's a 25-question quiz. You can hit the link down below and take that quiz to identify where you stand in the knowledge-based side as far as understanding markets, understanding probability, understanding how to profit in sports betting. And it's a really good tool to help you individually to see where you stand on all that. And if it's something you want to go forward with, we can get together and go through the coaching, the consulting, the one-on-one basis, which is what I do as an instructor for OddsJam and all the data-driven tools to help you start to profit, come up with a profit plan, and all of that. So I would highly recommend you take advantage of that scorecard quiz. Check it out. It's really cool. It's kind of fun to see how you do and how you rank. And then in the meantime, you can contact me and say, hey, Boyd, I need your help. Let's get going one-on-one. And there's different levels of where you can participate wherever your goals lead you. So that's the business side of things now. Let's get into the Arizona State-Utah game. All right, let's set the scene real quick here. Friday night, October 11th, Arizona State is playing at home in college football versus the Utah Utes, coming in ranked number 16, also getting their quarterback back, Cam Rising. And so in theory, this is looking like maybe a potential big win for Utah. Kind of weird, though. The line opened up -5, went down to -3 right out of the gate, and then eventually crawled its way up to -4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, and literally right before kickoff, it went to -6. Well, what I found really odd about that, though, is that number, the key numbers, and not so much in college football, but a key number at 6. And I thought to myself, this is really strange. You would think maybe Utah be favored by a lot more than this. Something doesn't smell right. All right, and as I mentioned, it first opened up at -5. Boom, right out of the gate, like literally no time later, dropped all the way down to 3. So clearly a ton of money came in right out of the gate initially here on the Arizona State Sun Devils at home as the home dog. But eventually this line creeped back up, and it came up to the point where we see here it's going to go to, let me move this up. You can see here it's going to go to 5.5, 6, even got to 6.5 at one point. Went all the way up to 6.5 for quite some time. And then as we can see, it's kind of settled back down again, 5, just a little bit of a, I'd say kind of weird and bizarre action, all the way down to 4, right? And now you would think at this point in time, as the public and a little bit more money's coming in on the games here, the limits are opening up, and you can see how you can track and trace the lines. But again, my point of all this was literally the day of the game. So right at the 11th, you can see this line at 5.5. Weird number, wrong number, right? 5.5 means they have a position. I think that what that means is the odds makers and the bookmakers have a position that they like the Arizona State Sun Devils at home plus the points, and they're going to welcome more and more money coming in on Utah and jump on, people are going to say, oh, 5.5, boom, they'll win by a touchdown or more. No brainer, right? They put the money in and even got up to the 6.5 point right before kickoff. So my point of this is when you see the line moving in an area where you have a home dog on an up-and-coming program, and then maybe a program that notoriously has had a good brand, but maybe struggling a little bit, this is kind of a sign that maybe you want to consider taking that home dog plus the points and sometimes going against the data, even though it's showing you that maybe it's some value there. But what I'm saying is sometimes you got to go with your gut and use some common sense here to go a little contrarian. So really the learning point here, the talking point here is to look backwards. Use that bet tracker. Look back and kind of identify maybe some of the things you were thinking about, some of the reasoning that you were getting onto a bet, or maybe the reason why you laid off of a bet. But this is a really good example of what you're going to see in a lot of primetime games. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of money, a lot of viewership on a Friday night college football game of this magnitude, and especially with those brands, Arizona State, Utah, and just sort of the mindset mainly of the public and how that money may be flowing, and then using that line movement from the odds-making sports books like the Pinnacle, like the Circa, like the betonline.ags, all of those that are really out there showing the direction of their pricing, is giving you clues. It's giving you an indicator to the narrative of what they can anticipate, what you can anticipate, and you can bet accordingly. All right, guys, there you go. This kind of thing happens all the time in these games where you see lines that look a little fishy, lines a little bit odd, And this is something I want to bring to your attention that, again, you don't have to place a wager on bets just because maybe the tools say so. You can kind of use some of your instincts and kind of look a little further and dive a little bit deeper into the pricing and the movement and see, what's going on in the markets. And so, again, this is something I'm trying to help beginner and struggling sports bettors learn to identify and learn to think a little differently than just, automatically placing those bets and going forward. So again, hopefully you can use all these tools, use the channel here to get continuous sports betting education, take that betting quiz, schedule a one-on-one phone call. I'm happy to help and talk to you, kind of see where you're at in the sports betting education world. And then also make sure you get that OddsJam free trial set up if you haven't done that. There's a 7-day free trial. And if you do get signed up as a new user, make sure you use Boyd Bets, and you'll save 25% off your first month. So appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully you found a lot of value out of this. And let's go make some mathematical money.